What's up, guys? It's Rob here, and today the stock market's not doing too hot for a couple of reasons. We're going to talk about an unfortunate geopolitical event that's causing a lot of people to sell out of some stocks. And if you look at the chart, you can see what I'm talking about. The S&P is kind of nosediving today, right? We've fortunately formed a little bit of a recovery here. We'll see if that sustains itself or if we go even lower. But there are a couple of things on people's minds causing a lot of fear out there, one of which is involving China. Now, China has been sending drones towards Taiwan to do some scouting and that kind of stuff. And Taiwan, for the first time, I believe, has shot at these drones to kind of incentivize them to not come too close to the island. But this is, I believe, the first time that Taiwan's actually used live ammunition to shoot at drones like this. And it's just a continuation of the escalation that we've seen between China and Taiwan, and is unfortunately causing stocks for some people to look less attractive because they're worried that if there's a big war between China and Taiwan, or if there's some kind of conflict similar to what went on with Russia and Ukraine, that the United States may end up intervening on the side of Taiwan and enacting some economic policies against China, which would also hurt the United States as well. I mean, it's a two-way trade that we do with China and the United States, and also with Taiwan, right? If Taiwan's getting invaded, then we're losing out on a lot of semiconductor manufacturing that they do for us. And China does, pretty much everything else, right? They make a ton of the stuff that we buy in the US. And people are worried that if we do see some kind of conflict between Taiwan and China, we could lose out on a bunch of that because the United States might end up going against China on at least the economic side, maybe even the military side. We'll see what happens with that. But also, people are worried that central banks, the Fed, essentially, is going to keep raising rates. That's something that's been on people's minds for the past couple of days and has been causing stocks to drop for a while, right? Past few days, we've been dropping pretty dramatically. And these fears have not dissipated. A lot of people are still worried that the Fed is going to continue on this course, and they're continuing to sell stocks off in addition to what we're seeing going on with China and Taiwan. It's causing a pretty nasty economic environment for stockholders out there. There's a bunch of red in the markets, and overall, it doesn't dissuade me from investing because there are still opportunities out there. If there are catalysts that you guys see in the market that could potentially be bringing up specific stocks, maybe the indexes overall are going to be falling for the short term. But if there are catalysts out there that you guys see for specific stocks, then those stocks can still rise. And what's more important is that over the long term, if you guys are in this game for the long term, you're not just trying to make some quick bucks, then overall, this is just making stocks a more attractive buy. Now, we have a quote that kind of touches on this. It's from St. Francis de Sales. He says, "Do not lose your inner peace for anything whatsoever, even if your whole world seems upset." And essentially, what we're seeing in the stock market is a lot of investors losing their inner peace and losing their peace of mind and deciding to sell out of their investments because they're worried about what could potentially be lurking behind the corner of the future. And they're worried about what might go on with China and Taiwan. They're worried about what nasty economic environment we could have if the Fed ends up raising rates. And so they've decided to sell off a bunch of their stocks. And, over the long term, we've seen that stocks do tend to rise. This year has been pretty rough on stocks, and it actually just makes them a more attractive buying opportunity. If you look at the past 5 years, you can see it's just one of these classic dips that we do see whenever there is a bunch of worry. And I would expect that at some point the world would stabilize. Now, there are some people out there who say, no, the world's not going to stabilize. It's going to keep getting worse. There's going to be a huge catastrophe, and it's going to essentially destroy everything: the United States, the economy, the stock market, everything. And to those people, I mean, that's fine to think that, right? If that's what you think, then that's fine. But what are you doing watching a stock market video? I mean, you guys should be digging a bunker in your backyard if that's really what you expect to happen. Then you shouldn't be watching a stock market video. There are a lot of other things you guys should be doing. And so I make these videos for people who don't believe that the end is near and who think that there will be a future in the stock market, and try to explain at least my thoughts on why, when we see dips like this and when there is all this fear out there, it actually just means stocks are a better buying opportunity. And of course, that's just my opinion, not financial advice. It's just what I'm thinking about what's going on in the current environment. And obviously, anyone could be right. Maybe the end of the world is right around the corner, but I don't think so. So if you guys appreciate this content, feel free to subscribe to the channel. And other than that, guys, keep in mind, not financial advice. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.